Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with some new stuff to test out. I'm also testing out the Windows game recorder program and see how it works with my mic and everything like that. But it's another first impressions game, and this time we're playing Wasteland 2, the director's cut. I'm aware of this game, and as of the time of this recording, Wasteland 3 came out maybe like a couple of weeks ago, so it's fairly recent. So I thought I'd try the second game. I've technically played the first game like a long time ago, and it's definitely hard to get into now that we know about more modern gaming and stuff like that. I might record the original one just to show you what it's like someday. Today's not today, though. We're going to play Wasteland 2, which is... Wasteland in general is actually the forefather of the Fallout series. And although, interesting enough, Wasteland was created because... Fallout was created because EA owns... I don't know if they still own it, but at the time, EA owned Wasteland, the name, and so they hoard it like a little child and don't want to let go of it, so they created Fallout in the similar vein of Wasteland because of EA, and then they made Wasteland 2 years later because they couldn't get Fallout from Bethesda. It's a cluster. Not even sure. Let's start the game out, and then we can kind of just talk about it. So this is probably... I don't know if I'll do... probably won't do a playthrough of it unless people like really want me to. I don't think I have a save on here, so I think we're fine. Because this is one of those games I just play in my own free time. Let's create a squad. All right, so we need to create rangers. I know in the first game you could create like some rangers as well, or you could start with the stock characters or whatever. So let's look and see. I bet it's similar to the original game, where although in the second, obviously in the sequel, you got a lot more customization. Oh, and this is the director's cut, so you're probably wondering what the difference is between that and the regular version. Well, basically, it's added extra story scenes, from what I understand, added dialogue, like a perks system, as well as precision strikes and a few other things. But all right, let's make our first character. Let's see if we can see what our options are. We got some portraits. Not all portraits. I bet there's some mods you can get to mod other character models into it, and we'll just do the yeah, we'll just do the basic ranger, like dude or whatever. All right, you're probably going to be hearing a lot of ambient sounds over the course of this because I haven't figured out the mic and everything yet, but for this game bar thing. So oops, okay, we'll just... not that age really doesn't matter in this game at all, so you can choose whatever you want. As far as I understand, like I said, I haven't played this game, but from what a lot of little details aren't important from what I understand. So it's just more for customizing your character. So you can choose your religion. Woo! When I was growing up, I was Christian, but like me, realistically, now I'm at that like agnostic stage where I believe that there's something out there, but I don't know if there's any specific like religion that like really is the right thing. We're starting heavy with that, aren't we? Smokes, that probably doesn't matter. I don't smoke in real life, and I'm an American. Then I could write a biography. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't really care. I'm not in that RP that much, you know. Let's customize our dude. Let's see what we have. I could give him all different sorts of hats. That's cool. Probably leave him. Mostly this, since this is a Wasteland version, I think this is supposed to take place during the late 21st century or something like that. And it's the whole typical post-apocalyptic nuclear war situation occurred on all that fun stuff. Basically, if you play Fallout, you get that gist of what Wasteland is. Although Wasteland tends to be a bit more, at least in the first game, there was some humor into it, but I felt it was more serious than Fallout was. Fallout is serious to a point, but it's more comedic, and it's it's got more dark humor in it than man, I had to get up right close to the screen to see what my options are. It looks like minor details. That's kind of cool. The eye patch guy. Yeah, let's go with the sunglasses. Those are always cool. Let's see. Put ourselves in an outfit. I doubt this does anything, so it's probably more for cosmetic purposes. We could just dress ourselves in some leather. Oh yeah. Or whatever this is. It's supposed to be man of the evening type outfit? Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. Let's go with preacher. Let's go with suit and tie. Let's play a nerd of the pack. What type of backpacks we got? Those are pretty fancy backpacks for being in the desert west or whatever. Just put on like a ridiculous backpack. Let's see what we got for legs. I probably won't put too much detail into this just because we're trying to show off. Oh, is that a garter? Oh, woo! Kind of reminds me of what's his name from Rocky Horror Picture Show, Dr. Frankfurter. Yeah, kind of reminds me of that. I'm just a I'm just a Transvadian transvestite or something like that. I haven't watched that movie in forever. It's not on my list of great movies, personally, but it's a cult classic and people dress up and do all that stuff, and that seems like fun, but it's one of those movies that's entertaining in its own way, but it's not, to me, it's not considered like, oh man, end-all be-all type of thing, so. Alright. Skin, well, I'm as white as toast. Size. Size does matter. I'm like medium size. I don't even know what that's supposed to be in this case. I guess this. Alright. Let's go to the next. Alright, we got combat skills in this game because it's I know little details about the game, how it's top-down, like isometric RPG. Will affect your proficiency with different weapons, will affect your crit hit. Allocate your attributes. Okay, let's see what we got here. Coordination. A ranger with high coordination has grace, a deft touch, and a fine motor skills. Coordination helps avoid traps and attacks, pick locks, and improves aim. Not bad. So if you want to get range to hit, as well as probably helps with certain skills, I bet, which are what these are from what it looks like. It's a little luck. Some rangers just seem to have an innate edge. Bullets miss them, their attacks always seem to find their enemy weak spots, and they seem to exceed their own capabilities from time to time. So I assume that what those little boxes are how many points you put into that skill. Like if you put 2 points into it, it improves your critical chance. For every point, it improves your evasion, chance to get additional con. I assume con's your HP. I think it is. Yeah, like I said, it's been forever since I played the original Wasteland. Because Wasteland came out in 1988, if I remember correctly. God, on the old Apple II. Holy cow, I'm old. Anyway, and then 1 point for bonus action points. I believe action points are what you can use for either attack or movement. Awareness. A ranger with high awareness notices every detail of the world around them. They are hard to ambush or sneak up on and are often able to get a jump on their enemies. 3 points for combat initiative. I'm trying to remember what combat. Well, actually, we can just highlight to tell what those are. So, let's see, combat initiative. How often your turn comes up in combat? The higher combat initiative, the more your ranger will get a turn in combat. Each enemy has their own. Oh, well, you'd probably, if you want to go often, you probably want to have high combat initiative. So awareness is definitely a good stat. What was the other one that looked odd? Okay, well, anyway, so that's definitely one to consider having high ranks in. So that way you go multiple times during a turn. Strength. A ranger with high strength is able to hit hard, carry more gear, sustain greater injuries than that would leave others face down in the dust. See, melee critical chance damage. So strength is for if you're doing melee builds, because as you could probably see over to the side, you can see that they're the different weapons. You have your, obviously, range, you have your melee. Looks like blunt, brawling, and bladed. So yeah, if you're playing a melee build, that'd probably be a good idea to have decent strength, as well as being able to carry crap. If I remember correctly, if this is RP, just like anything else, it's probably going to give you a lot of random crap to carry, and you'll have to hold on to it until you get to a salesman shop to drop it all off. Action points, Bale and mace damage. Okay. Speed. Speed is more than just how fast the ranger can run. It is also their reflexes and reaction time, which affects their initiative in battle. The higher speed a ranger has, the sooner they can act. So that would also be another. Probably if you're gonna make a combat build, because I know this is an RPG, so there's a combination of story and combat. Though most games, as much as they want to point out the story, combat is still a major function in this game. So you have to think about that. It's not like some games where you can just pure RP. It's not like Planescape Torment, where you could play that game with like doing no combat at all. It's pretty impressive that they were able to get away with that. I might record that one of these days. That's actually a favorite of mine, although it is a little dated from being a game from the 90s. But anyway, comment. So yeah, high speed would be good for combat builds in general. Intelligence, obviously the most important stat. Intelligence allows the ranger to learn and process information efficiently, giving them early access to a wide variety of skills and the ability to master them. So for every 2, we get a skill point per level, which I assume skill points are for these right here. I bet they, let's see, yeah, 2, 4, 6. So is that? I think that's 2 at every level. See, 2, 4, 6. Oh, and then it goes up. I bet that's how many skill points it takes to get to that level is 10 if you want to get to level 4. See, it goes 10, 14. Yeah, it looks like it goes up to 2 for the first 3 levels, and it's 4 for the next 3 levels, and then it looks like it goes 6 for 3 levels, and then 8, thus costing 44 skill points. I wonder how many levels you can get this game. I'm thinking maybe, like, by the end of this game, you'll probably get into the mid-30s or 40s, I bet. Because usually it's Japanese RPGs that get you into the 60s or 70 levels. Usually Western RPGs don't go that high in terms of actual straight-up levels. So if you want to have high skill-based groups, you want people with high intelligence. Charisma. Charisma's combined force of Ranger's personality, desirability. Ooh la la. People react more favorably to a Ranger with high charisma. Might talk about things that would have otherwise kept to themselves. So, with 2 points per level, it's probably preferred. Let's see. I'm just saying, like, what it's worth to point more to others. I like how if you highlight, it kind of tells you what you're generally getting at that level. Or at least that's what it looks like. See, on Charisma, it looks like all that does is it gives you experience, and that's not bad. And experienced XP rewards if you want to level up a little bit faster in the game. Although if you, from games similar to this, I've played games like this in the past before. Usually, if you do everything, you usually the game gives you usually enough levels by the end of the game to survive the final encounters, as long as you roughly do most of the main story stuff. If you do some of the side quests, they'll even give you even more of a better level. That probably depends on the difficulty as well. Charisma is probably more of an RP stat. I mean, other than increasing XP, it seems to be more RP, but I wonder what the leadership radius is. I bet, well, let's see, let me see, leadership, huh? Let me look at the other skills. Knowledge skills. Knowledge skills will help you overcome various obstacles in the world. Obstacles have a skill check level in the world. To solve them properly, the higher skill value, the better chance to have a being successful. Yeah, this is a save scummer game if you haven't already figured it out. And I bet when we get to it, I'll be able to show you. A save scummer game is when everything in the game has a percentile chance to do whatever, and basically you want to make sure to have that quick save and quick load button memorized. You can just reload this thing until you get to work. So this is probably one of those games where you don't have to max out a skill, as long as you can somehow still do it at like 10% or something like that, and then you just reload till you do it. Although that gets annoying after a while, but still. Let's see. Looks like this one, yeah, has some field skills or stuff like that. Let's see. General skills have a wide variety of uses. Hover over the skill to get a description of its use. Whisper. Oh, well, there's a leadership skill. There you go. Let me look over the skills really quick, see what we got. I assume for this game, you want every character to have at least a combat skill of some sort, 1 or 2. I bet, depending on how many points you put in intelligence, you might either want 1 or 2 weapon skill options on here. Let's see, assault rifles, they seem to be the default. Assault rifles are all-in-one tools for rangers who want to be tactically useful in almost any situation. Take this training if you're a team player who values dependability over flash. Good damage, moderate armor penetration, long range, multiple firing modes, can use precision strikes. Yeah, that was one of the things. When I was looking up the details between the two before I decided which to download, what was the difference? And it was just better just to get the director's cut. I mean, if you really want to know what they did before the original game, you could download the original one. Because the director's cut is, if you have the original copy, I think you can get the director's cut for free from most websites that you buy it from. Weaknesses: moderate high AP cost to attack, chance to hit reduction at short range. So you want to hit him from far away. Uses expensive ammo. Well, if it's like anything, if you just basically open every chest, loot every body, you should get a decent amount of ammo by mid game at least. Bladed weapons. These are skilled in the art of bladed weapons, where known where to cut to cause the most damage. Take this training if you like your firing up close and personal. Strength's high critical chance. Uses no ammo. Yeah, no. For those of you who are, I bet if we go to the difficulty ranges, I bet there'll be a thing where if you have like high extreme difficulty, I bet you get like no money or ammo. So you probably a difficult build, a difficult playthroughs. You want to have like melee weapon users for like a couple of your people. But anyway, has high critical chance, so uses no ammo. Can use precision strikes. Low non-critical damage. Non-critical. Oh, okay, so bladed weapons, one of those you want to use. You probably want to, if you're using a bladed weapon, it's probably better to use like a luck build with a blade, or use high luck players want to use blades because they're low initial damage, but if you can crit, it's a lot higher. So that's not a bad combo. Low armor penetration, melee range only. Well, that's obvious. Blunt weapons. There's nothing subtle about a blunt instrument. It breaks bones and splatters brains. Blunt weapons do a lot of damage when they hit. Let's see. Strengths: high damage, good armor penetration, uses no ammo, can use precision strikes. Weaknesses: high AP cost to attack. That kind of makes sense. Low critical chance. So you probably want to, I bet with a blunt weapon, you want to have just like with a bladed weapon, you probably want to have a combination of luck and strength. But with a blunt weapon, you probably want to just go all strength because of its low critical chance. So at that point, you're probably like, probably shouldn't even mess with trying to get high crits with it. Brawling. When everything else is gone, a skilled ranger can still rely on their fist. Cheese fist! Take this training if you want your hands to be registered as deadly weapons. High critical chance, so another luck-based build with that one would be good. Uses no ammo. Low AP cost to attack. Ooh. So even if you have low AP from like weak skills in certain areas. So if you're I bet if you're making like a charisma-based character, you might want to combine that with brawling, because you're going to be using some of your stats to charisma. Because I bet because it says leadership range, and usually if there's a range, it means you want to be in the center of combat. So probably playing actually anyone melee could probably go with charisma if you want to do a charisma build anyway. And get I like the weaknesses: low damage, melee range only, get mistaken for a cage fighter. There's some of the humor of the game. Energy weapons. You like Buck Rogers or something. Energy weapons are most efficient against opponents with heavy conductive armor, but less effective against those with light armor. Take this training if you always want to be a space cadet. Just like not Buzz Aldrin, but he wasn't a space cadet. Like Buzz Lightyear, yeah. Just remember, don't cross the streams. I think from what I read, this game has a lot of like referential humor in it. Like if you're a child grown up like I am in the 80s and 90s, it's going to make a lot of references to that type of stuff. So if you're a kid that was born after the 2000s, you might not get a lot of the jokes in here. I'll try to point them out. Cross the Streams is Ghostbusters, by the way, for those who don't know. Strengths: high damage to enemies with conductive armor, can out jam, and can use. Oh, this is one of those games where weapons can mess up, huh? I doubt it. I wonder how high the percentage is on it. It might be annoying. See, low damage against enemies with normal armor, cannot inflict critical hits. So you don't even want to have high luck with this because you're not going to be critical hitting with it, period. I wonder if that works on, because in the original Wasteland game, you could fight like robots and stuff like that. I wonder if I bet that's I wouldn't be surprised if that's in this game too. So I bet it works on robots very well as well. So anyway, handguns. Handguns are fast and deadly at close range, and take this training if you like being in the thick of action. There's nothing wrong with being a gunslinger. Let's see. Strength: high critical chance, low AP cost to attack. Ammo is cheap and plentiful. Well, that's usually how it is. Even though post-apocalyptic world, you think that'd be hard to come across, but no. Ammo as far as I can see. No short range penalties. Can use precision strikes. Weaknesses: low armor penetration, low damage, short range. So it's all about kind of another thing where you might want to have decent luck with the build, and low AP, so you could probably shoot multiple times in a row. Oh, and I noticed these little dots there. Let's see what those are. That's a chance to hit. Oh, yeah, there's the perks I was mentioning, or yeah, perks or something like that, which unlocks it. I don't know if it automatically unlocks. I think you have to buy it. I think that's how this game works. From what I read, I try not to read too much about a game before I play it because I want to kind of go in somewhat blind. But the game got okay reviews. It got like mainly 4 out of 5s, at least from goodoldgames.com, which is where I'm playing this from. That's my preferred service for a game library. I don't really like using Steam. Steam just seems to, I don't know. Like I do have a Steam library account. Not I mean that'd be but I don't know. I tend not to use it too much. I don't know why. Anyway. Heavy weapons. Heavy weapons are 300-pound gorillas of the weapon world. Take this training if you like big guns that fire a lot of bullets. High damage, good armor penetration, large clip size. Weaknesses. Sorry, I'm recording this a little late. High AP cost to attack and slow movement speed in combat. Cannot use precision strikes. Combat speed. Let me look at that. The amount of distance you can cover per action point. So if you're using a high weapon build, you're probably not going to be moving very far with your action points. Increase your combat speed while you get trouble further. Okay, so yeah, heavy weapons are not gonna. They might have decent AP, but they'll be taking forever to get somewhere. So that's a toss-up. Shotguns. The spread of the shotgun allows you to lay the hurt on multiple targets with a single trigger pull. Take this training if you like killing 4 birds with 1 stone. Ooh, can hit multiple enemies at once. Moderate AP cost to attack. I wonder if this is one of those games where you can have friendly fire. I bet you can. I think in the old game the old game is more text based, so you didn't really have there were some pictures, but it was mainly text, and it was mainly you just chose an action and you did it. So I don't remember that game having friendly fire, but I don't know. Usually isometric RPGs like this tend to these ones usually tend to have the option depending on the difficulty mode. Short range, low armor penetration, cannot use precision strikes. Oh, so you just scoot and shoot. Let's see, sniper rifles. Those are always nice. Sniper rifles, but out a huge amount of damage by an unwieldy close range. That's usually how it is. Take this training if you are an antisocial loader with a steady hand. Strengths, very long range, high armor penetration, high damage, can use precision strikes. High weaknesses, high AP cost to fire, uses expensive ammo, chance to hit reduction at short range. That would be a good one to have for high damage outputs. Let's see. Submachine guns. SMGs fire multiple rounds per trigger, pull, and are cheap to operate. Take this skill if you like spending clips and cutting your enemies in half. Strengths. Burst fire. High chance to hit at close range. Ammo is cheap and plentiful. Weaknesses. Low armor penetration. Short range. Cannot use precision strikes. So same thing with shotgun. Just pull it and go to town. Alright. Knowledge skills. We've got alarm disarming. With this skill, you can breach security systems and get your team into restricted areas without waking up the guards. Use on doors, safes, and other objects to disable detection systems. Some high-tech doors and safes can only be opened after disabling their security measures. So it seems like this is one of those where if you don't care about being sneaky in the game, you just go through place to place. You probably don't need the alarm disarming ability or skill. Let's see, computer science. Computer weird science. Man, I watched that movie or TV show forever. Take the skill if you want to know more about how to turn it off and turn it on again. You flip it to switch. Allows the user to interface, hack, or repair computers and other similar equipment found in the Wasteland. Can also be used to rewire robots and some synthetics to fight on your side. Okay. Yeah, that'd be. Wait, so in combat you could use that to hack enemy robots. That's kind of neat. Not a whole lot of games let you do that, so that's an interesting one to consider. Demolitions. With this skill, you'll know whether to cut the red wire or the blue wire. Red wire, green wire, red wire. Allows the player to disarm a variety of different explosives. The skill is primarily used to deactivate booby traps. Yeah, I bet if you're playing a game that you don't care about, if you're playing probably like an easy mode or don't care about sneaking, you probably don't need this one. But if you play normal or higher, I bet it would be suggested. I bet. Field medic, probably another one of the skills is probably good at any difficulty, but probably more needed at the higher difficulty playthroughs. This skill helps you patch up your friends and just enough to get them to a real doctor. A field medic restores hit hit points and removes effects by using consumable items. This action is available both in and out of combat. Lock picking, yeah, this one will be high for those who want to get everything in the game or get a chance to get all that loot. With this forbidden knowledge, you have the skills to pay the bills, opening locked doors, trunks, and crates. Just don't get caught. Using the lockpicking skill allows you to open a variety of reinforced standard doors and chests. So yeah, this one's probably a go-to requirement for those who want to find everything. If you don't care and just want combat, you probably could skip that one. You just lose out on a lot of. You basically have to buy most of your equipment. I bet. Mechanical repair. The skill you need if you want to repair small appliances, engines, and gizmos. So that can be. I bet this is another one of those things that helps you get into areas or fix stuff or whatever, or you might get extra experience for it or whatever. You could probably skip it, but safe cracking another. I wonder why there's. Well, I mean, there are two different things in real life. I'm just surprised they're not one skill. Safe cracking. Crack combination tumblers and disable advanced mechanical locks with this handy, if unethical, skill. Safe cracking, if used, is to open vaults and safes. These normally contain special goods and items locked away for safekeeping. And that would probably be another one for those who want to get everything in the game. Surgeon. This skill allows you to fix the deep damage and bad breaks that the field medic isn't qualified to deal with. You'll be a lifesaver. The surgeon skill is used to revive downed squad members both in and out of combat. Additionally, it can be used to remove any stats effect gained from injury. I'm surprised that's not like a merge skill. But, okay, so if people get knocked out during combat, which I bet, depending on the difficulty, could be either not at all or quite common, you would probably want someone with Surgeon on your team. And I bet this is one of those games where you can get NPCs to join you as well, because I know in the original Wasteland you could, because you start, you make, like in this game, it looks like we can make probably up to 4 Rangers, which is the default good hero group in this world. But in the previous game, you could get up to, I think it was 3 NPCs to help you, if I require. So you probably don't need to have all these skills. You could probably find a character to run across in the game to compensate for skills we don't have. Because I bet, depending on how we build these characters, we probably don't want to give our characters every single ability right at the start. And usually on these games, you can buy these skills at any point. So you probably want to focus on a handful at the beginning. Toaster repair. I think I remember this in the original game, but I think you could only on toaster repair. I think in the original game, I think you could only repair like 3 toasters, if I recall. So it almost made the skill kind of pointless. It was more of a joke skill. I wonder if they improved that in this game or not. Very specialized and underappreciated skill in a world without toast, but sometimes surprisingly useful. Use toaster repair on any broken toasters you come across in your travels. You never know what you might find inside. Yeah, I think in the first game, even if you didn't have, I think one of your characters default has toaster repair, but it's like level 1 or whatever. I think there was an NPC that could fix that had like a high toaster repair skill, so it's almost better just to wait till you find them, got them on your team, and then use them to fix the handful of toasters in the game. I think they actually dropped some when you fixed them. I think they actually gave you some decent items, if I recall. God, it's been so long. I'm probably misremembering. So that might be one that is a joke, or at least maybe get. I bet it's better just to have an NPC have that and not mess with it yourself. Okay, and then this one is the general skills. It's the Animal Whisper. What you whisper is between you and your animal friend, but this skill will calm them and keep them from attacking you. They might even join you on your journey. Ooh, I wonder if they give you any bonuses for doing that. Probably. That'd be one to consider if you want to make a nature character. Barter. Take this skill if you always want to get the long end of the stick. Barter reduces the cost of items purchased from vendors. Let's see. 1%. Sold increase. Looks like it only increases it by 1% every one. This one's probably one you could probably skip depending on the difficulty you play, because it seems like the percentage isn't that huge. Maybe if it was like up to 25%, maybe one of these perks give you some bonus if you buy them or something. But not bad. But yeah, I'd probably skip that at character build. This skill helps you use your strength to its greatest advantage. Perfect for knocking down walls and smashing stuff up. Used on an object in the world that can be bashed, broken, or pushed or unstuck. Usually in games that allow you to break stuff to break the lock, like if you're doing lock picking, you can brute force it. Usually you end up getting less equipment because you end up destroying the box. So sometimes you end up destroying some of the equipment, so you get less of a drop usually. So usually you don't use these on chests and stuff like that. You usually use this on walls. But this is probably one of those skills that's probably optional because you could probably get to most places in the game without doing this. I bet this is used for like shortcuts and maybe find a rare item once in a while. But you could probably skip this too if you're doing just pure combat. Oh, here's some of the social abilities. Hard ass. This is the skill to take if you want to intimidate people into doing what you want. Hey, you little punk. Nerd! This skill is usable in conversations. Keywords with corresponding icons will appear when you have enough ranks and hard ass to use it. Okay. It looks like a face with like a scar on it or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, usually social skills unlock additional dialogue or allow you to bypass certain encounters or get you to a conclusion much faster than you would if you didn't have the skill. So these could probably be skipped, but a person like me usually has at least a character with at least one of each social skill. Kiss ass. This is a skill to take if you want to sweet talk people into doing what you want. This skill is usable in conversations. Keywords with corresponding icons will appear when you have enough ranks and kiss ass to use it. Ooh yeah. Leadership. A true leader is made, not born. With this skill, you will inspire others to trust and follow you. Use this power only for good. First, your companion NPC will listen to your orders more often and go rogue less. Oh, yeah. I think that could happen in the original game too, if I recall that they could go rogue. Second, your presence instills confidence in your team, increasing their chance to hit when they're near you. Oh, that'd be pretty good. I could see why a charisma, like you could go throughout the whole game without this, but that'd probably help you with your percentages to hit. And if this is a game that's known for save scumming, I bet I'm getting XCOM vibes now, you know. I think I remember missing quite a bit in the original Wasteland, now that I recall, so yeah. Outdoorsman. If you want to find water and live off the land in the waste, this is a skill for you. The outdoorsman skill is primarily used to avoid random encounters while traveling on the world map. Well, that'd be nice if you don't like doing those after a while. I bet that's one of those where you could probably, if you have enough skill, you could still fight them or skip it entirely. So that might be one to consider at least having a couple points into, just to improve your chances to run away if you don't want to mess with that. Perception. Take this skill to see things others miss and spot ambushes before they spot you. The perception skill is used to highlight objects of interest to you explore. As you move around the environment and examine objects, you may reveal hidden details, traps, and more. This is definitely one you want to build for whoever your first character is because, because usually the first character you build is always going to be in front. So this is probably the one to build. And I bet you want to do this to finalize some certain hidden treasures and stuff like that. So that'd probably be a good one to have. Smartass. This is the skill you take if you want to cleverly manipulate people into doing what you want. This skill is usable in conversations. Keywords with corresponding icons will appear when you have enough ranks in Smartass to use it. Nice. That'd be a fun one to choose. And weaponsmithing. If you want to salvage usable parts and modifications for weapons and attach them to other weapons, this is your skill. Weaponsmithing allows you to install a wide variety of modifications to your weapons. You may also use it to strip a weapon down, potentially gain useful mod. Oh, that'd be probably on easy mode. You could probably skip this, but I bet on normal and higher difficulties, this will help with a lot of little details. So, all right, let's make our first character. I think I want to have a decent charisma with them. I don't think I want to. I think I'm gonna tend to luck to be low because it looks like low doesn't tend to, like in some games if you have low luck it means sometimes bad things will happen, but there's no indication otherwise that that'll occur. So I could probably survive with like no with low that. And coordination, I think I could get away with only having like a couple points of coordination because range to hit, it doesn't seem to be too much. It seems to only go up like 1% per level, which I mean probably hitting at lower levels is probably nice, but I bet with the modification of leadership and maybe weapon mods, I bet we can improve our to hit. So yeah, other than action points, I don't see coordination being a big a deal. You could probably make up for that. So I see, from what I'm reading, awareness seems to be a much better idea out of all of them. Okay, so I think I want to have decent on just the strength because of the not just con, but the ability to carry weight. Will be nice to have. Same with speed, and then yeah, awareness. I want that to be high. I don't know. I just like having high combat initiative and having a chance to evade will help me in melee situations. So I think that's how I want to go with the first character. Um, since I'm only going to put him at intelligence 4, I think I want to only choose a combat skill and maybe a couple of other skills, at least a character build. And then maybe later on in the game, you probably want to maybe choose some others. And what do I want to have my main character do? I mean, assault rifle would be kind of cool. If he's gonna be, if I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna give him the leadership role because of the charisma thing. Because I don't think I need to get level 10 of this because I don't want to completely reduce his use in combat, you know. So I think 5 is a good middle of the road. I don't want him to be slow because he needs to get into the thick of combat. I think I want to do. I think machine gun sounds fun. So let's at least put a point into that. And then let's see. I think I want to, because I'm going to make him the leader character, I think I want to have leadership and perception on him at the beginning. So let me, how do I want to do this? I think I want to have, you at least want your combat skill to at least be, maybe not be max, but pretty high. Leadership, let me make my combat skill the highest at the beginning. And then we'll kind of, I almost consider giving him like one of the abilities, but I think I can give that to my other players as well. So yeah, I think we'll go with okay. So that's for the first character. Okay, here's the quirks. Let's see what they do. Quirk lists. What are we, My Hero Academia over here? Quirks are special personality traits you can pick for your character. Selecting one will provide a benefit, but also a drawback of some kind. You may only pick one quirk for each character, and picking one is optional. So if you don't want to mess with any extra stuff. Animal husbandry. You grew up on a farm and learned to tend to the animals there. You shower them with care and compassion, and keep them well groomed, and they brought you much joy in return. Life was good. ×2 followers on the animal whisperers are twice as good. Drawbacks. I don't like the fact it's a question mark. It could do anything. They could randomly attack you. They could get targeted easier. It's I don't know if I'm feeling that one at all. Aesthetic or ascetic. Is that aesthetic? 5 skill points and 1 attribute point at game start. Cannot equip trinket items. I bet trinket items are one of those things where it's like an accessory where you probably get interesting bonuses by equipping them. 5 skills. Let's see. 5 skill points. That only get me maybe like 2 more skills, and I don't think that's worth it. Because I bet like any random table or isometric RPG, I bet you can find some pretty interesting trinket items over the course of the game. But anyway, you were raised by monks in a small monastic order. Regardless of your current religious beliefs, the lessons learned there, though may through many hard years of prayer and flagellation. Wow, that's when you purposely whip yourself or draw blood and stuff like that. Those religions are crazy. Flagellation will live on. You're a stronger and better person in body and spirit, but you reject vain worldly possessions that lead down a path of sin. Kind of reminds me of the in D&D, there was a class, I think, at 3rd edition, where you could take a vow of poverty. You get like a bunch of bonuses over the course of the game, but you could never wear equipment or magical items. It was pretty powerful if you build it right. Asshole. just a doll flipping the bird. Benefits. Hard-ass dialogue options always succeed. So they can fail, or is there like a level? I wonder if that means you could just like have hard ass on the lowest level and it doesn't matter. But drawback: squad cannot use kiss ass or smart ass dialogue. So if you want to be a dick through the rest of the game and not, that would save you skill points. You wouldn't have to buy kiss ass or smart ass because they wouldn't even work. Asshole, and you'd only have to spend Well, I guess it depends on how hard ass works. If you only need to spend 1 point, or if you have to max out. But I bet you could only spend 1 point on it. So say you lost skill points and I max that out. Some say your mama never loved you, but what you don't tell them is that you shot her yourself. You're just playing a mean old you're playing old asshole. You're an asshole, whoa, yo. Knows it, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some upsides to being a jerk. Brittle bones, +2 base action points, -50% combat speed. Holy cow, you'd be hardly moving. You get the action points, but that's probably one you'd use if you're making a sniper, maybe. But you suffer from a rare birth defect that makes walking quickly difficult, but you've learned to make up for this by being especially quick and economical with your actions. Yeah, that's probably more of a sniper or maybe assault rifle user. But for probably long combats, that's probably pretty annoying. For ones that probably have larger maps or whatever. Delayed gratification. +1 skill point each level up after level 10. Drawback, only one less skill point each level up before level 11. Depending how many levels you get, that could be good or bad. Like I said, I'm thinking maybe mid-30s to 40s by the end of the game. So you're still missing out, even with all the levels after 11. And I don't know if that's worth the skill points, because I don't know. Maybe. Good things come to those of the wait. Your mom always said you were never the sharpest tool in the shed, but when you take to something, you really take to it. That's one to consider, I guess, if you're playing the long game. That probably means doing stuff at the very beginning of the game is kind of annoying. You'll have to save scum a lot if you don't have the skill points to buy everything or whatever. Dyspareunumerophobia. I have no idea what that means. I'll have to look that up later. Actually, I could probably look it up right now while I'm reading this. +1 to all attributes on even numbered character levels. No, that's not bad. -1 on odd numbered character levels. Now, I wonder if this is one of those games where you could choose to level up. Because if you can choose not to level up, you could probably just, when you're on even number level, just stay on that level. When you level up, just skip it and wait till you level again. But it depends how long it takes to level up, though. That's one of those. That's kind of interesting if you want to hold levels back. But I mean, depending on how this game works, you may easily be able to do that. So that's one that might be one to consider if you, like I said, just hold off on a level. And what levels give you? It gave you skill points, con, and the possibility to get like perks and stuff like that. I think it said somewhere in the description. So, but I wonder what level perks are on. I'd bet they're probably one every like 4 levels or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Well, anyway, for thousands of years, people around the globe have held in superstition that certain numbers are lucky and others unlucky. Unfortunately for you, it turns out they were right. Alright, let's click a Fading Goat. When an enemy scores a critical hit on you, you have a 35% chance of fading, causing them to miss. Huh, that's interesting. Drawbacks. While feigning, you get pushed back in the combat order. Oh. I mean, so if you don't want to get critted, depending on where you are in the game, that could be interesting. But depending on how often your character gets hit, it probably isn't worth it. It's probably one of those you use if you're kind of like maybe middle of the range type of character or something like that. Let's see. Those around you whisper in hushed tones that you're born with the spirit of the mighty mountain goat. The mighty mountain goat! Spirit, or maybe you just wound up with its brain in your noggin. One way or another, you do black out a lot. When I typed in the actual name for this, it popped up with Wasteland first, so it might be just a name they. Oh, no, that's. I'm just trying to. Yeah, it pulls up Wasteland first. Well, I'll look it up later. I just want to kind of see what would happen if I lit that up. So it pops up Wasteland. So it might be a variation of an actual phobia. Heavy-handed, plus 15 base damage on all blunt, bladed, and brawling attacks. Drawbacks, minus 50% base critical chance. Yeah, you definitely don't want heavy hands if you're using a bladed weapon, that's for sure, or a brawling attack. That's definitely a blunt weapon user right there, because they already have low crit chance already. So if you just want to get more base damage from that, that's probably the way I would go for that quirk. Manic Depressive. Attributes change randomly every 10 to 15 minutes. That would be annoying. It'd basically be playing a waiting game half the time. So you, yeah, that's not a good ability. That's only if you want to role play or give yourself purposely difficult, or if you want to have a random game. Manic Depressive. Mania and melancholy are two sides of the same coin. You have known it all your life. You're subject to intense mood changes, and those around you say you're almost like a different person each time they see you. Yeah, I don't. I would definitely not use, at least unless I was playing the game like the third or fourth time, that type of thing. Misanthropic. 25% benefit when you use healing items than others. Cannot use healing items on yourself. Depending on the difficulty. Even then, I bet. Yeah, I don't see that as a very useful ability. Ever since you got measles as a child, you've been obsessed with keeping healthy. You've researched every single cure under the sun to make sure you can fight off the endless advance of disease and keep yourself meticulously clean. You see dirt, grime, and germs everywhere you look, and especially on other people. You're more effective at using healing items, but you're also paranoid about other infecting you that you refuse to squander any treatment of your own injuries. Opportunist. 50% plus 50% damage on any target at less than 35% con. Drawback, minus 25% damage against any target or more than 35% con. So yeah, you're basically a finisher. Yeah, opportunist, obviously. So that can be useful, I guess, but it's more like you almost want to, for that character, you almost want to have either low initiative or be low on the combat order so you could go after all your other characters so you can take advantage of that. That'd be definitely a lot of messing around to get that to be useful. Opportunist. It takes a certain ethical flexibility to take advantage of others, and it's a flexibility you possess. Your predatory nature means that you can kick your enemies just a bit harder when they're down. However, you're also equally timid and fearful of harm coming to you. And as a result, you do less damage to those who are healthy. You're like, it's like being a bully or something like that. You're only useful when they're already down. Psychopath. Gain 4% chance to crit to hit. Chance to hit, a 2% bonus critical chance with every successful attack. Bonus loss if you miss an attack. Minus 10 base chance to hit and finds. That's probably more useful to use if you're playing. If you're either playing a solo run, or if you're using a brawler, or like a melee user, because I wonder if you have to do all the attacks, or if you lose it, if it switches to another character. Huh? I don't know. Because, but yeah, I bet if you do solo run, this is definitely one you'd want to use. But I don't know if I'd see it in the long run. When you were 3, you pulled the heads off your dolls. When you were 5, you burned ants with your magnifying glass. Yeah, that's about right for a psychopath. When you were 12, you set Tommy's hair on fire. Watching others suffer is your only source of amusement. And now your mercilessness has led you to sign up for the Rangers. Justice? For you, it's all about fun. Your violent tendencies mean that you need to hurt things, and frequently, when you're on that murderous high, you attack more fiercely. However, your brooding nature means you're less effective when you're antipsychotic. You get sad. Raised in the circus, plus 5 evasion. Drawbacks, no leadership bonuses. Well, from what I saw from the leadership class, it looked like it improved your chance to hit. So that's probably not a very good ability, because, I mean, depending if you max out leadership, because I think I saw it said like 20% to hit by max, and you get that near the end of the game. So, I mean, that might work with if you do like all the stats that deal with evasion, like high awareness and speed. I guess if that could be your chance to hit might be better. So yeah, definitely a melee user is what you want Raised in the Circus to be. Your mom had a beard and your dad could hammer nails through his kneecaps. Life in the circus lets you pick up all sorts of weird and wonderful tricks from your fellow performers and freaks. Your upbringing means you have improved reflexes, but due to your unmistakable carny demeanor, you gain no leadership bonus from friendly squad members. And you also smell like cabbage. Repressed Rage. Times 2 damage and 25% critical chance for 1 turn after receiving a critical hit. Drawbacks, you could never get normal critical hits. So it only, so you only can do critical. So this, the way it's being worded is you can never critical hit until you get critical hit. then you can critical hit. Wow, that's kind of very specific. That's kind of annoying almost, because you don't want to get critical hit by the enemy, right? So, especially if you're playing a lower, actually if you're playing a lower difficulties, I bet you can't be or almost never get critical hit. Because usually on some games, if you choose easy mode, you never get crit. Like critting or friendly fire is not a thing. You were never the most outgoing person. Some would call you meek, others timid. You have a habit of letting others walk over you. Rarely see confrontation, but sometimes all that anger inside just builds up, and like a powder keg, you go off. You are a slave to your rage, and any time you receive a critical in combat during your next turn, you unleash your fury. However, your meek attitude means you keep it bottled away the rest of the time. Let's see, thick skin. +2 base armor. Oh, that could be kind of nice. Minus 30% combat speed. Well, at least it's not as bad as being brittle, but that's another toss-up one. All the boys and girls in the playground used to pick on you. They called you stinky, fatty, ugly, and beat you up until you were bruised and sore. Kind of reminds me of a Cotton Hill or someone that stinky, fatty. But the more you took it, the more you learned to shrug it off. Sticks and stones won't break your bones. Years of physical abuse have left you thick-skinned. You can shrug off attacks more easily, but you're heavier and more sluggish, and as a result, you move slower. Twitchy, plus 20% base combat speed, minus 10% base chance to hit. That can be interesting, especially in the early game anyway. It's probably not as bad in the later game because being able to move so far with action speed. That's probably a melee build right there. But yeah, definitely take advantage of leadership at that point. You can never seem to sit still, even if you're calm as times. You're always twitching, jumping at things, and anxiously drumming your fingers to stamping your feet. Your twitchiness means you move faster in combat, but you also lose your finer motor control as a result, making it harder for you to land your attacks. 2 pump chump. That sounds vulgar. +2 action points and plus 25% chance to hit for your first 2 rounds of combat. Drawback, -1 extra points and minus 15 chance to hit for each turn after the first 2. So you have to basically finish the attack quicker. This is kind of worthless if you're fighting boss monsters or whatever, or at higher difficulties where it takes a little bit longer to finish combat. So this is definitely an easy mode quirk to choose. If nice folks finish last and you finish first every time. That's what she said. Unlucky. Chance for lightning to strike and shock a random target in combat. Well, that would be interesting. You've always felt like you've had a thundercloud following you. Perhaps it's the darkness that seems to shadow you. Perhaps it's all those times things just didn't go your way. Perhaps it's the others around you seem to burst in a shower of sparks of flame without warning. Due to your unlucky nature in combat, there's a tiny chance each turn that a bolt of lightning will scream down from the heavens and shock a random target, friend or foe. Yeah, that's the problem. Is could either be ally or enemy. Way of the Squeezins. I assume that's like the drug of this world. +3 action points and plus 25 damage with drunk on snake squeezins. I wonder if you get drunk automatically, or is it one of those you have to drink a couple to get that to happen? Minus 100%, drawback, 100% chance, negative 100% chance, critical chance, and minus 0.6 combat speed with silver. So you always want, well, at least when in combat, you always want to drink squeezins. That can be kind of annoying. By the venom of the snake we were born, and by the venom of the snake we shall die. You are utter dependent on the snake squeezins for everything. Heck, you can barely get out of the bed without a taste of that sweet, sweet nectar. Sweet, sweet can. But for those few minutes on top of the world are worth it. Maybe. I think I'm kind of interested in doing this one just to kind of like, because I bet you could like take advantage of it without the negatives by just always staying on an odd, even numbered level and never leveling up. So, okay, and then we'll make a few others. I'll try to. I kind of want to show off some of the gameplay, and we're almost at an hour. So, I'll make one more really quick, and then we'll make. Oops. I don't care about the thing there. Let's do. Yeah, sure. Not a whole lot of options for. I'll choose you. You look good. Let's see. I wonder what kind of weird skin tone it's gonna get. Looks like I can get like yellow, red, black. I don't see any like weird ones like green or blue. So let me I mean, not that it really matters, but alright, let's just put a quick outfit on you. Let's just run it through. I do like the torso, the thing with the, it looks like you look like Native Americans as well. I think I remember that being one of the big things about this world is that Native American tribes are one of the few things that have survived. Obviously, they're probably not like our like modern day Native American tribes, but oh, it looks like her things clicking through. All right, let's just choose a. Ooh, got scars. That's kind of cool. Scars on the face. Chicks dig scars, and sometimes guys do as well. Ooh, what are those earrings? Oh wow, not quite hoop, but and then you can put on a gas mask. That's kind of cool. Alright, I'm gonna wear the big old hoop earrings just because. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't know the head had a. Huh. Well, anyway, let's see. It looks like a standard hair. Oh, you can even put on a. Oh, so they use CDs as like their little thing. That looks like a Native American like headdress almost, like a chief or something like that. But I'm not an expert on Native American cultures, so don't quote me on that. That's a big old white hair. There we go. Gotta go with dreads, man. I'll leave her without a hat. I think I'll just randomize the other two, just and I can make the other characters off screen. So, I think I'll do high awareness. I think I'll do for you, since I don't think I'll need multiple charisma characters. I think having one will work. So we want to do same thing with this one. I don't want to have a. This one will have a high speed character, so she'll be a combat character. So, with that in mind, I might, if she's gonna do combat, I might make her just a. Well, she doesn't have high strength though. Let's see, initiative and speed. I could make her with that. I can make her like a melee user or something like that. Or with the high speed, I could make her a heavy weapon build to make up like however heavy that is, so it might even out. So how much was the speed per? Is 0.1. Oh, it kind of depends on how heavy the weapon is at this point. I was thinking, making her maybe like but I have a. See, what was that? But I'm not doing crit chance because I'm only having decent strength with her. I mean, it's an okay amount of stuff. Yeah, it's only like 1%. So, and I could do blunt and give her heavy hands or something like that. Let's see, since she's regular intelligence as well, I'll just, you know what, I'm going to give her hard ass. And then I think I'll just do, although I was thinking maybe demolition for one, because I wonder if it's one of those you can use for like throwing grenades or something like that. So I was thinking almost hard ass and like brute force, just for thematic purposes. Because melee sometimes you might not be able to get in combat fast enough, so having an extra ability. So I might just give someone else brute force, because you don't have to have high strength for that. I was just doing it as like a theme. So yeah, we'll just do. Actually, I think usually for social skills I want them to be maxed out at least. So yeah, I think that'll work. And I think I'll give her heavy hands because we'll almost never crit with that. So at that point it'll be pointless to do that. So yeah, I'll just make let's see. Let's make a Native American character. Let's see, Native American. We'll use the, well, there's that one. I kind of like that one because that one kind of looks Native American as well. Oh, it even actually, according to the screen, it even shows you how to add custom portraits. I just pop it into the custom portraits on My Documents. Huh, that's cool. I thought usually most PC games give you the option to um, do that. Let's see. Do I just want to? I kind of like the hair. That's kind of got a nice look to it. Let's give her a. Yeah, that was cool. Then give her the torso. That's good. I don't know if I want to give her the same bottom piece. I could. Yeah, sure. Why not? Just make her tiny, just because. All right. Same thing. I'm gonna do a. However, this one I'm going to have a high intelligence build on this one. Oh, oops, I don't need. Yeah, so I'm gonna make her high intelligence. So that means with that much, I could probably do 4. Well, if I did max, I could probably do 2 weapon and then a couple skills. But I'm just gonna do 1 weapon skill and then yeah, for some reason it wouldn't let me. Oh, there we go. Oh, and apparently if you highlight, let's see where. Huh. I thought I saw like a name pop up when I highlighted one of these earlier. Maybe I was imagining things. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna give her sniper, so I'm gonna make her my sniper character. And then I think I want to give her. I'll give her smartass. Give her a couple points in that. Well, actually, we'll see. I'm gonna do, since I'm giving her 4, so I'm gonna try to do a couple of skills. So I want to make her. I think I'll make her the. We'll give her outdoorsman as well. And then let's see. So we got that. So I can choose one more. I might do. I think I'll give her weaponsmithing as well. I'm gonna put a couple points on that. I don't think I want to give her this one. I don't think I want to give her any abilities. Because I don't want to put quirks on every single character. I mean, I could do this as well, but I don't know if I want to. I don't want if I want to double up on that. And we'll leave her well enough alone. And then let's do. Let's see. Let's make you. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Mormon, sure. Let's make it European. Let's just do. Oh, and custom. Whoops. Custom appearance. Let me give you. Actually, no, we're gonna make you. We're gonna make you wild. We're gonna give you. We're gonna give you some crazy hair right there. Where's the? Yeah, let's give you the. Let's give you the spikes, man. Far out, man. I'm gonna do. Yeah, let's put her in like a gas mask. That sounds about right. And where's that one outfit? Yeah, let's put her in the. Actually, I like that skirt. That one's actually not bad. But no, let's put her in the negligee. Because why not, right? Right out in the West, you've got enough. It's like fantasy games. When you get the higher level, the armor gets skimpier and skimpier. You know. Put her at that. Yeah, that looks good. Oops. All right. Same thing. I'm gonna do charisma. I think it's a good idea to have. Whoops. I think it's a good idea to have multiple intelligence builds for this one. I'm going to make her an assault weapon user. I'm going to give her mechanical repair, field medic, kiss ass. I think I'll go ahead and give her brute force too. Okay, we'll do a couple points. And yeah, that'll work. Okay. No, I don't think I want to give her, same thing, I don't think I want to give her any quirk. Okay, sorry, I kind of wanted to actually get to some gameplay after this, so we'll at least get to the intro and then we'll call it an episode. Let's see what Supreme Jerk gets. If you were a hero of the Wasteland, you've been known to make raiders pee themselves just by looking at them. This is the setting. This is your setting, but don't say we didn't warn you. Ranger, if you've been around the block a few times, you think whipping your weight in a Gila monitors counts. In Gila monitors counts as light exercise is probably the setting you want. Settings are seasoned. If you've had some experience with the wastes or places like you know which end of the mason cannon to point at the enemy. This is a setting for you. And rookie. The Wasteland is a dangerous place for the uninitiated. Choose a setting if you consider yourself a novice, a tenderfoot, or is in fact your first barbecue. I mean, it is, but I usually like playing normal mode or whatever. So let's see what the game is. Yeah, sorry for taking so long. Maybe I should have cut character creation, just making one dude and then that's randomly generating the rest of them and then coming back to it later. Like if I decide to play this on my own, which I probably will, or yeah, inXile. Oh, these are the same guys who did a Bar's Tale that I played. I need to get back to that at some point. I was just using that as kind of an interim game in between recordings of certain combat things, but I want to get back to it. I've heard of Chris Avellone. I've heard he's in some hot water right now, but as a writer, he's very solid. But I don't want to get into that. I just want to know that his writing's pretty good. Anything outside of that is the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. If I've heard that line before. Well, I mean, you didn't come up with the general part, or someone else.
What comes after the end? I don't know. Neither did they. They were just an Army engineer battalion, constructing roads and bridges deep in the middle of the Arizona nowhere. They didn't know why Armageddon had come. They'd heard radio chatter about an attack on some space-based missile platform. But who had attacked it, or why? No one knew. What they did know is that the politicians and the generals had finally ended the world. Now, everything was gone. They took over a federal prison for a fort, kicked out the convicts, got busy starting from scratch. Maybe it was an act of mercy. Maybe they figured that the prisoners would die out in the harsh new world. Whichever, it came back to bite the engineers in the ass. Cultists, criminals, cannibals. They've been living with the fallout ever since. Good people had survived too, called for help in the night. And those engineers, those common soldiers, could not stand by and see them die. So they came out of their fort, and they helped the survivors defend their homes. And for that, they earned a new name, a proud name, the Desert Rangers. Now, Rangers, I know at times it seems our cause is hopeless, and I know it's hard to say goodbye to a brother in arms. But I want you to know something else. That no Ranger who dies in the line of duty will ever be forgotten. Nor will he have ever died in vain. or unavenged.
Oh, nice way to start out the game with a burial. And we're the new recruits, huh? A stiff-bearded older man wearing a hard-worn ranger uniform and a battered old cowboy hat. General Vargas walks with a cane, but he's not helpless. He wears a pearl-handled revolver on his hip, and there are a lot of notches on the barrel.
I appreciate you coming to Captain Ace's retirement party when you hardly knew the man. Appropriate, too, seeing as how investigating his death will be your first duty as a desert ranger.
Starting us off in quite forefront, huh? Let's see. How'd Ace die, sir?
Ace had been trying to locate a faint radio signal, which has lately been giving us cause for concern. We gave him 3 repeater units and sent him to hook them up to 3 remote radio towers. This would have allowed us to get a fix on the signal. But sadly, Ace was murdered by unknown assailants right after hooking up the first tower, and his logbook and the last 2 repeater units were stolen.
Well, that sucks for Ace. Apparently, he's probably a big-name dude. Otherwise, why would they have this big old to-do about him? But so, a signal, huh? You got killed over a signal. Better be bigger than that. Happy to be given the opportunity, sir, but are you sure we're ready?
Yeah, I know. You've hardly found your feet with us, and here I am sending you on a mission that already got 1 ranger killed. Well, I wish I had another option, but the Desert Rangers are spread a little thin right now. Ranger teams Abel and Charlie are out west trying to stop a range war out there from becoming straight-up genocide. And Team Baker is up north looking for a way through the radiation that's cut us off from Vegas. I'm afraid the next generation is going to have to lead the charge on this one.
Yay for us. The signal is a threat, sir?
The voice on those broadcasts disturbed me greatly. It talked crazy talk about a future where man and machine would be one. Worse, it talked about us, the Desert Rangers, specifically. It said it was coming for us.
That'd be boring if we just steamrolled all across this land and never had any difficulty. Repeater units, sir?
When you get back to the Citadel, talk to our radio expert, Wade Woodson, if you want to know more about the technical details. All I know is the repeaters will upgrade the towers and allow us to zero in on the mystery signal. I'll give you the locations of the towers once you have the repeaters in hand. More important to find them first.
Yep, we gotta find Ace, or wherever the last thing Ace was, to get his repeaters back. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say. Where are the radio towers? You think the logbook was stolen, sir?
Don't know, but it wasn't on Ace's person when he was found. Look for it. It might have some clues as to his death.
What's the mission, sir?
The mission is this. Search the area where Ace's body was found, and do your best to recover his logbook and the repeater units. Then call in your report. If you find the repeaters, I may send you on to finish his mission.
Well, it killed him, so I don't know if I want to do that.
Ace's death must be avenged, and it will be. But finding the signal he died trying to track down is just as important. Besides, I got the sneaking suspicion that when you find the one, you'll find the other.
Oh, goody. Where is this area, sir?
It's about a day's walk east from here. I'll mark it on your map.
Ooh, we got a map. That's a decent size. I assume that's supposed to be Arizona. I think they said that's where this takes place.
There you go.
There you go! Colin, sir?
Yes, call in on your radio. Your radio is your lifeline to Ranger Citadel. We'll be calling you with alerts and updates on your current missions, and sending you new missions when we receive distress calls. As Rangers, it is your sworn duty to respond to those calls. That is the contract we made with the people of Arizona when we opened for business.
So we're in business now? When can we enter the Citadel, sir?
Once you prove yourself, the Citadel will be your new home. Consider this mission the final test of your training. If you succeed, you are welcome within our walls. If you fail, then you aren't cut out to be a Desert Ranger, and we won't let you in.
So succeed or die trying, huh? Or leave and... Oh, what are these colored ones? Prove. Hard ass. If we can prove ourselves, if we can prove ourselves down by kicking down the door of the Citadel, sir. Or kiss ass. Please, sir, if you send us after Ace's killer, then you already decided we're worthy. We're not. We'll just let us in. And then smart ass. Surely, sir, the success of the mission is more pertinent than testing us. If you want to find these signals, shouldn't you let us in so we can stock up on everything we need to succeed? Oh, so we got a few options. Let's be a kiss ass group.
Kissing ass already, huh?
Brown nosing.
Well, some folks in the Waste can be persuaded that way, but not everyone. I've been buttered up by the best of them, so I'm wise to those tricks. You get through our doors with deeds, not words, recruits. Good try, though.
Since it allowed us to do all three of them, I bet it was like you weren't going to be let in. It was just letting you test the mechanic out, I bet. Oh, we're done. Thank you, sir. We'll do our best.
Good luck out there, recruits.
Goodbye, Commander. All right. Yeah, top-down, isometric view type of game. I watched some of the trailer of this before we get started. So if you want to move around, you right-click. If you want to highlight everyone, you left-click. If you want to play, I think you can... See, I haven't gone through all that. Well, let's look at the... There's a tutorial thing here on the... okay, logbook. Gains access to missions and stuff. Okay. I think it's either... Okay, yeah, tab is highlighting selected units, or you could go down here. If you highlight them, right-click. Oh yeah, I'm at an odd number level right now, so it kind of sucks. So at the very beginning of the game, it's gonna suck, but after that, we'll be fine. I thought there was an option to like maybe have to. Well, I guess I'll mess with it later. Okay, what do we? Ooh, here we go. Let's see. It's not tab. What? In some games, it's is it H? One of these games was like where you can highlight, or is it shift in this game? I'll have to look at the controls later. Usually you can, there's usually a button to highlight stuff that you can pick up on this. Let's see. Here's under controls. Show grid. G, swap weapon. Highlight all Z. There we go. And that's everything we can look at. So green, I assume green is stuff we can pick up, and this color is stuff we can just look at. And I guess we can't talk to those because no, we can't talk to them. So let's pick up this shovel, and I bet we could. Okay. Oh, sorry. There's some like description down in the back corner here. Here's like a spawned a man, died a desert ranger. I bet we could use them to. Oh yeah, it even shows using items there. Let's see. If I find many items in the Wasteland, use these to use these items, you can either enter inventory or right-click on the item and then select use. So we could probably, I bet we could dig this up, but I bet they get pissed. Let me do well, let me show you. Oh, let's see. Let me look up. Sorry, I should have looked up the quick. What's the quick save button? F9. Okay. So let's quick save it really quick, and then let me go to inventory, shovel, use.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing, recruits? That's consecrated ground.
Oh, they didn't attack me. I wonder if I can keep doing that.
Last warning, recruits. Do not touch Ace's grave again.
This is probably one of those games that lets you do stupid shit like this. And if you...
That's it. You're dishonorably discharged.
And I bet we're going to get our asses beat by Vargas. He's probably a really high level. Let's see. He has 420 HP. He can do up to 76 damage. He's got 9 armor. I don't know what that... Oh, and I think that's his combat speed. Let's see. Oh, they all have high enough ranks. Jeez. Well, let's see. Well, I get to show you combat before we end the episode at least. Yeah, it did damage to him. Alright. Anyway, you left click if it's blue, it means you can, like on the screen, you can, well, I have to finish your turn. If it's blue, you can attack and move on the turn. If it's orange, it means you can only move and not do anything else. So if you can't do anything else, let's see. I can't precision strike because I don't have enough AP. Because there, the corner there is our attack cost. So it costs 4 AP for me to attack. And then that's the weapon I've got. And then this tells us the little details of damage, armor penetration, critical hit. There's a quick slots bar. for skills and items and stuff like that. So here we're gonna turn. And he one-shots us. Of course he does. Eagle Eyes died and will always be remembered. No, he just died and will always be remembered. No! Yeah, he probably has so many action points that he just wreck us. So our life is into the wasteland. Well, at least I showed you some combat before the end of the game by being a dick. So that's it for Wasteland 2. So far, I'm liking the look of it. It definitely has a feel. You can definitely feel the Fallout, where Fallout got the inspiration from. And combat seems pretty quick and easy. Obviously, in bigger combats might be different, but I would definitely check it out if you're interested. Like I said, it's on Good Old Games, or you can get it on Steam or something like that. But it is an RPG and isometric one, so it's definitely not for everyone. So it just depends if you like those types of games. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little run through of this. I'll probably end up playing more off screen if people want more of this. Maybe I'll do a playthrough of this later on, or maybe I'll try to look into streaming or doing long episodes of this, because this seems like one of those games you maybe want to have like hour episodes and stuff like that. And hopefully this Windows game board thing that I'm using to record, hopefully this pans out. If there's too much loose noise or whatever, I might just forego it or do some editing or something like that. So anyway, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, Desert Rangers.